Hello, Grace. Welcome back to our reading plan. It is May 30th, and we're looking at Proverbs 11, 12, and 13. And this is the second day of our reading of the short form didactic parallelism that is common in Proverbs, that everyone recognizes as a proverb or a maxim. And the issue with these is that it's hard for us to see a linear progression, right? We live in a Western world, we have the Western linear thinking, but there's a lot of overlap, and there's kind of cycles that he's going through in these chapters. And so what you're going to notice is you're going to see similar pieces of wisdom around similar subjects in different chapters and different sections of Proverbs. And so if something catches your eye today, take note of it. Maybe it has to do with words or integrity or whatever the Lord loves, something that sticks out to you, and then write it down, take note of it, and then as you're reading, you'll see it again. Take note of where that is, and you'll see some patterns emerge, and we see that today. In the first verse of chapter 11, it says, the Lord detests. And then in chapter 11, verse 20, it says, the Lord detests. And then chapter 12, verse 22, the Lord detests. So what is it saying the Lord detests? Well, let's look at what it says fully. The Lord detests the use of dishonest scales, but he delights in accurate weights. The next one, verse 20 of chapter 11, the Lord detests people with crooked hearts, but he delights in those with integrity. In chapter 12, the Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in those who tell the truth. So what is this speaking about? It's speaking about integrity. So if you are a business person, you want to make sure you're honest in your business. If there's something that if there's someone who has a heart that's bent towards selfishness, that is something that the Lord detests, and he wants someone who has integrity. If you maybe you have some things that might not go well, and you're tempted to lie, well, the Lord detests lying, right? And he delights those who tell the truth. So integrity is one of those patterns we see. We also see that words are really important in these Proverbs. Over and over again, it says, verse 9, with their words the godless destroy their friends. Verse 12, it is foolish to belittle one's neighbor. A sensible person keeps quiet. So not using words. Verse 13, a gossip goes around telling secrets, but those who are trustworthy can keep confidence. And on it goes. Chapter 12, verse 14, wise words bring many benefits, and hard work brings rewards. Verse 15, fools think their own way is right, but the wise listen to others. So there's this theme of using your words wisely and not using your words and listening in other situations. We also see wealth is a pattern in this section as well. We have the first verse 4, riches won't help you on the day of judgment. And then we'll see wealth a couple other times, including at the end of this section, right? Chapter 13, verse 11. Wealth from get-rich-quick schemes quickly disappears. Wealth from hard work grows over time. So we see that what we put our wealth in, or what we see as being wealthy, doesn't match up to what the world wants. And then we have these really famous Proverbs that maybe you've heard before, right? There's this one in verse 12 of chapter 13. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a dream fulfilled is a tree of life. And we'll see tomorrow another one that talks about worrying brings people down. And the next famous one is those who spare the rod of discipline hate their children. Those who love their children care enough to discipline them. So we'll see these patterns coming through in this section, but the main thing that I want us to focus on is what the Lord detests. That's important. When it says the Lord, you should really focus on that. The Lord detests people who don't have integrity, but he's with those who have integrity. And if we are willing to listen and not use our words as much, we will be seen as wise, but we will also grow in our wisdom. And so that's what we see in Jesus. Jesus lived a life where he could have gone and said, I'm the Messiah, and done all these different signs, but he did not presume upon those things, and he did not call those things upon himself. He lived wisely as a human in a trade and was able to grow in honor before others and before God. And so this is what this wisdom is telling us today, is if we listen and if we have integrity, we will continue to grow in honor before God and others. God bless you.